Large Capsule, perhaps the most misunderstood relic in the game. When I first read it, I thought it was unpickable. I've been trained to think of strikes as basically curses, but was Large Capsule yet another in a growing list of Spire 2 editions where I was the middleman in the bell curve meme? Up first, Regent. I actually played a lot of Large Capsule Act 1s with Regent, and all of them made it out of the act, although one of them needed a very fortuitous event to avoid what would have otherwise been certain death. And another one of them was the strongest Act 1 I've ever played. The combination of Bag of Prep, Gambling Chip, and Mummified Hand meant I could quickly set up all three of my upgraded powers each fight, and pretty much coast from there. In fact, I killed the statue on turn 1 and took no damage in the Frog Parasite or Phantom fights. And arguably the hardest part was trying not to get cancelled when I defended my decision to discard this card. I don't really care about the gaze. A Maverfelt. Wait, no, I meant about the Monarch's gaze. Don't clip that and take that out of context.
I don't care for Joe.
The deck continued to tear through the Spire. I went into the bosses with an irresponsible amount of gold in the bank, and my biggest problem was reading my randomly generated cards. Wait, why does this hit once and this hits... Oh, does the counter happen? Oh, these are different cards. That's why. Another perfect boss fight, and we were off to the Architect. Alright, well, that's one piece of evidence for Large Capsule. I think when you start with Bag of Prep, Gambling Chip, things go easily for you. Ironclad. Ironclad started with an upgraded Defend, a Festive Popper, and a Toxic Egg, which is about as good a start as you can ask for. Or it would have been if the game ever offered me a block card. But with an extra strike in the deck, I took the next best thing, Perfected Strike. At the Act 1 campfire, my inability to block caused me to rest instead of upgrading Perfected Strike. Naturally, Pale punished the choice and chat begged me to content farm, and farm I did. This became the most ridiculous run I've ever had. I royally stamped a Bloodletting so that I could get card draw turn 1 with Centennial Puzzle, and then Vaku offered me 3 terrible choices, so I took Jeweled Mask, even though I didn't have any powers in my deck. And then this happened. Hellraiser. Wait, what? Hellraiser Jeweled Mask? Perfected Strike? So I had built a deck that could win without spending any energy, and let me tell you, I was titillated every time. Hey Aaron, welcome to the stream. This is what we're doing. Alright, what did we learn? Necrobinder. Large Capsule gave me Bronze Scales and White Star, which is normally just GG, but I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but I feel like on Necrobinder, the statue is like always my first elite, and then it always like either kills me or nearly kills me. I did, however, get Bone Shards and Undeath, and no, Undeath does not work the good way with Razortooth. Then I took 0 damage to Burdanis because, well, look at this relic bar, and apparently forgot to even look at my normal card reward. Too far ahead. Then, thanks to an aggressive turn 1, I comfortably beat Ceremonial Beast without using a potion. Floor 27 and our White Star from Large Capsule continued to deliver with Domain GG, and it was in fact GG with another win that comfortably snowballed from the Large Capsule start. Defect. Defect gave me my weakest relics of the test. Lasting Candy and Planisphere don't really give you any immediate combat strength, but the healing from the events was relevant. Bygone Effigy continued its tradition of being my first elite and draining half my life bar. Burdanis then took me to 1 health, but at least I had its feral child to show for it. And honestly, I know I chatted a lot of shite about going to question marks in my last video, but going to 5 of them here with Planisphere was like a front-loaded pantograph, and surely there won't be any comments about that. Then, after drinking some tea and accidentally lining up Pen Nib, I got the best possible start against Frog Parasite. I beat Phantom and headed into Act 2 with a stacked relic bar, gold in the bank and a jade sword nearing completion. Act 2 was fairly easy on 4 energy a turn, and after overcoming the crabs, I built a Dark Embrace Shiv deck. Alchemize became a bit of a liability because my potion bar was so stacked, but I guess that's something you're not allowed to complain about. And you're probably also not allowed to complain about having a streamer client. Silent. Okay, you know what? By now, I don't think my silent play is going to tip the scales in either direction for Large Capsule. Like, sure, it did give me 2 relics that made Act 1 very trivial, and maybe I should have learned my lesson about upgrading potential clone targets at the final Act 1 campfire. I get it. And maybe you could question my decision not to rest on 2 health here, and maybe you could look at passing the turn here instead of setting up Tuning Fork, but here's the point. Clicking on Large Capsule is the strongest you can make yourself on floor 1. Early in the run, you will not feel the difference between this and this, and I've even heard people say that it makes your floor 1 deck better as you're less likely to draw curses like Ascender's Bane and Bash. But you will feel the difference of starting with 2 extra relics, and you can snowball that strength all the way to the Architect.